In the world of early 1980s, adult cinema, hundreds of films came and went most forgotten, some infamous. But a select few dared to be something more. Among them was a quiet masterpiece that blended California sunshine with true cinematic ambition. That film was Satisfaction's 1983 gem that didn't just entertain, it elevated an entire genre. This is the untold story of how it was made, why it mattered, and why it still resonates over 4 decades later. Unlike the typical genre films of its time, Satisfaction stood apart with confidence and class. Directed by the visionary Gary Graver, working under the pseudonym Robert McCallum, the film wasn't a stitched-together collection of scenes, but a crafted narrative experience. Graver, who had worked with Orson Welles, brought a filmmaker's eye to an industry often ruled by quick profits. Satisfaction's played like an anthology wrapped in emotional threads, each scene flowing smoothly into the next, almost as if Woody Allen had directed a sensual drama on the California coast. The movie opens on a quiet note, in a beautiful mansion perched above the San Francisco Bay. Inside, we meet Elaine, played by the ever-graceful Honey Wilderis. She bids her husband farewell before he departs on a business trip. The opening is tastefully shot, letting us linger in the textures of wealth, comfort, and subtle anticipation. Graver's camera captures the mood of the home like a painter with light. Supporting characters, Carl and Marrow, played by John Leslie and Carmel Carson, bring a natural warmth to the screen. Their performances hum with understated charm, grounded in Graver's commitment to authenticity and visual elegance. From there, the story expands effortlessly. We follow Elaine's daughter, Connie, portrayed by Rhonda Jo Petty, woman who earned the nickname Farrah Fawcett Minor, thanks to her uncanny resemblance to the Charlie's Angels star. In one memorable scene, Connie visits a construction site owned by her father's development firm. It's here we meet Ron Jeremy and Herschel Savage in their blue-collar roles. The scene feels surprisingly real. There's grit, humor, and chemistry, and it's all captured with the kind of polish that defies the film's modest budget. This was Graver's superpower, making genre fare feel like a crafted ensemble drama. The film then branches out to other supporting characters, each receiving care and attention. We follow a secretary, played by Chrissy Beauchamp, and her friend Dee, portrayed by Carol Lott. We also meet Eric Edwards, playing the family's pool boy, perhaps one of the first instances of what would become an industry cliché. But here, even the cliché feels fresh. Shot under the glow of California sun, the scenes resemble a soap opera more than an adult feature. That professionalism extended to the acting, which remained sharp and naturalesque, shewing the wooden performances that became far too common in the genre by the mid-80s. Then comes the turning point of the film, the final act. This is where Satisfaction shifts from being a well-made adult film to something altogether unforgettable. Enter Kay Parker. By 1983, Parker was a towering presence in the industry lists, a film star and more a cultural high priestess of mature cinema. Born in Birmingham, England, she carried a regal aura that transformed every role she touched. In Satisfactions, paired with Bola and Laura Lazare, she delivers a performance brimming with emotional complexity and restraint. It's a scene rich with psychological weight, directed with care, and elevated by Parker's sheer presence. It's not just provocative, it's cinematic. Behind the camera, Gary Graver was the engine of the production. He directed, shot, and edited the film, giving it a consistency of tone that few other adult films of the time could match. The screenplay was written by C.W. O'Hara, marking his final collaboration with Graver after previously teaming up for Indecent Exposure in 1981. Shooting took place across various stunning California locations. Elaine's cliffside mansion was located at 125 Belvedere Avenue, Inu, in Tiburon property that sadly no longer exists, having been demolished in 2007. The 2 a.m. club in Mill Valley served as the bar where Kay Parker's character worked, while the construction site was filmed in Santa Monica. What also made Satisfaction stand out was its use of an original soundtrack, something incredibly rare in genre films of the time. Composer Suzanne Terrier brought unexpected beauty to the movie's audio landscape, crafting piano interludes and subtle synth notes that gave the transitions a textured, emotional undercurrent. Her score elevated the film's quiet moments and added a layer of artistic credibility that most adult films simply ignored. It was one more sign that Satisfactions wasn't trying to follow trendset, was creating something lasting. Financial backing came from Harold Lime, a veteran producer of the Golden Era. Lime not only funded the film through the filmmaker's company, but also made a small cameo as a bartender's way of leaving a signature mark. The film's release followed the standard path of the early 80s. A limited theatrical run on the coasts, followed by heavy distribution on VHS. And yes, the VHS marketing leaned into Kay Parker's magnetic draw, capitalizing on her continued rise in the industry. But what made Satisfactions truly remarkable wasn't just its craft, it was its refusal to follow the formula. While most adult films leaned on shock value, Graver's direction embraced subtlety, emotion, and a slow-burning intensity. Scenes were paced to build trust with the audience. The result? A rare example of adult cinema, where viewers stayed not just for the content, but for the storytelling. The film trusted the intelligence of its audience, and that trust paid off. The characters, too, had genuine depth. Elaine wasn't just a trophy wife, she had authority and interiority. Connie wasn't just a rebellious daughter, she was smart, cheeky, and full of energy. Even the secondary characters like the secretary and pool boy had small emotional arcs. Gary Graver gave his actors room to act, and it made all the difference. These weren't just scenes, they were moments, and they stayed with you. When Satisfactions released in the spring of 1983, it didn't aim to be revolutionary, but it ended up becoming just that. It earned an AVN nomination and praise from both genre fans and unexpected corners of the mainstream. One review dubbed it a smorgasbord of fun. And while the line was playful, the sentiment was true. It gave more than audiences expected. And in the end, it became a kind of time capsule from the last days of the golden age and era, when adult films still cared about setting, performance, and craftsmanship. Today, Satisfactions is studied by genre historians, screened in vintage film circles, and remembered as one of the final adult productions where the director acted like a director and not just a technician. It didn't try to be legendary, it just was. And that's the magic. So, if you've ever wondered why some people still talk about vintage cinema with reverence, Satisfactions is a very good place to start. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Universal Desires for more deep dives into forgotten legends and iconic films that changed everything. And stay tuned for our next featuring exclusive on Kay Parker and her lasting legacy in adult cinema history.